Where we stopped yesterday is on the Vedana. Okay, we're going to go further, right? On that very sutta which we took, we are going to do the same. I can't hear. Not for me? Oh, okay. I was thinking it was for me. Okay. So let me open up that sutta and we'll. So now the question comes, how does the feeling come to be? This is where we need to understand clearly. This is the crux of Buddha Dhamma. Even in the Brahmajala Sutta, we saw that. So I'm going to spend a good amount of time in this place. It's not the Vedana which is most important. It is this one which is the most important. Just like a socket and a switch. Socket by itself will not do anything. Switch by itself will not do anything. But when you put the socket into then the vijnana starts. That's the consciousness which starts. So phassa samudayo, vedana samudayo, phassa samudayo, sankhara samudayo, sorry, sanya samudaya, phassa samudaya, sankhara samudaya. Generally, what happens here is that we either misunderstand or misinterpret, or we do both when it comes to phassa. Some people see, like the people sitting here, they have done a lot of vipassana retreats. So they get to think that or feel that the sankharas are coming out of the body. Okay. Some people see feelings independent, meaning I'm getting a feeling here, I'm feeling itchy feeling, this feeling, throbbing. They call that a sensation, a very odd word to use and a very confusing word to use as well, called as sensation. What is a sensation? Something that is arising out of the senses is a sensation. Now, the confusion here is everything is directed towards the body. So then they say sensation on the body. Right now, I'm drinking tea. This is not happening in the body. It is just a hot feeling or a cold feeling and sugar, milk, etc., coming into the tongue. That's happening due to phassa, nothing to do with sensation. So, this is where we go wrong in not noticing what we are doing. And instead, I can call this as a sensation, hot sensation. Okay, what happened to the tea? I don't know. So, the question to be asked is, what is the origin? That is, what is the nidana? Kim nidana? What is the arising? Samudaya. How it arises? What is the jatika? How is it born? and Kim Pabhava, how it works or how it functions, how it manifests, or what's its effect. So if a Vedana has to come, not sensation, not samvedana, again, a wrong word to use. It's not samvedana, it is Vedana. Samvedana means associated with raga, dvesha, moha. Vedana means a feeling that arises. So it can't be samvedana. Yes, there is a word samvedeti. That means he has done something out of the Vedana. How does it come? Sampatsa ja Vedana equals samvedana. After not just the phassa happening, sampassa happening. The Vedana which gets created is sampassa ja Vedana, which is samvedana. Like the tea they have given me, which I am drinking. Is it samvedana or is it Vedana? It's Vedana. Of what? Of this tea. The tea is known to me. So it is Sukha Vedana. The tea is not known to me. Asukha Adukha Vedana. I don't like tea and somebody forces me to drink the tea. It is Dukkha Vedana. It's got nothing to do with some Vedana. So the people here, they keep on saying, Samvedana, Samvedana. It's not Samvedana, it's just Vedana. Now the question comes, how does the Vedana come to be? What's the origin? The origin is Phassa. Phassati, Phussati, iti Phassa. Just like after contacting like this, it presses itself, and that is Phassa. Anything that contacts like this, going inside a socket, is Phassa. Now that is connected. For Phassa to happen, three things are required. Otherwise, there can't be anything called as Phassa. Minimum thing is Chakku is required. First, if I am having a Kaya, Kaya is required. The subject. Then on the other side, there should be an object to which it can be connected. Like just holding this is a subject. It has nothing. I will put it here into the socket. Nothing happens. Why? There is no vinyan. Now I plug it on, and then the power is here. So this is Vedana. This is no Vedana. This is Vedana. Okay. This is happening in the eyes, called as Chakku Vinyana. It's happening in the ear, Sota Vinyana. It's happening in the tongue, Jivha Vinyana. Happening in the nose, Ghana Vinyana. Happening in the body, Kaya Vinyana. happening in the mind, manovinya. And that's the reason Buddha has given that fire simile to begin with. The six fires. It's like this. It's connected. When there is a connection, there should be a feeling. Now you see, I'm doing on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off like this. There's a feeling. And when there is a feeling, there is a perception of the feeling. There's sanya. And when there is sanya, there is an intention to do something about it, which is sankhara. It is not the sankharas coming in the body and coming out of the body because you're sitting. Okay, that's not at all what it is. Okay. Even though, to begin with, if I'm learning this, it's okay. But if I think that's the only thing, it's wrong. So what did I do is, this one will work as long as it's connected to the power source. Gone. Can there be a Vedana? No. So there can't be an independent sensation without the Vijnana. So people who have gone to Vipassana course, if they are seeing the Vedana is coming or some Vedana is coming in the body, they should ask this question, how does it come? If there were no consciousness at all, can there be any Vedana coming? If there were no contact, can anybody have a feeling or some Vedana? Sensation. There can't be. So the body scanning from top to down, there should be some phassa, contact. That means if in the Goenka he says, you put your mind here. What do you mean putting the mind there? It means this, you bring it into consciousness. And phassa happens. And hence there is a Vedana. Here, then here, then here, till the tip of the toe. And from the tip of the toe to the top of the head. And then what happens? Magic happens like this. And what do you get? Free flow of energy, which in Hindi is called Dhara Pravaha. Okay. Now the question comes, what is this made up of? This is made up of particles. Now what do you see? When you say bhanga, you see particles. And there ends Goenka technique with this. So as many times as you go there, you just experience bhanga. That's all what it is. So those people who have not seen bhanga, for them it makes sense because they are switching it on, no power source, nothing is happening. So they go to the first retreat, nothing happened. Second retreat, third retreat, 10-day retreat, 20-day retreat, 30 days retreat, 45 days retreat, 60-day retreat. But if it happens, that's it. That's the end of it. There's nothing more to it. Okay. Now, what does Buddha say? We are going by Buddha. We are not going by Goenka or by anyone. His statement is, can you get this independent of this? Can there be a sensation here, feeling here without this? It can't be. So when you sit there in the retreat, you can't get anything if you don't have a connection like this. So that connection is phassa. In Pali, it is phassa. And in English, contact or connection. And in Hindi, samparka, not sparsha, samparka. If there is a contact like this, then appears a feeling. Okay. Yesterday, I was touching Chanda Raut sitting here. So her heartbeat went up the moment I touched her. Why? Because there was a contact and it created feeling. So, feeling, perception, the volitions or preparations or choices or whatever called as sankhara are based upon contact. Without contact, there can't be any feeling. Now, if I were to see Aryu like this, there is a contact. There is an conscious experience of Aryu. There is nothing like I'm not experiencing Aryu. So as long as there is contact, so long there would be an experience. And that can be in three categories. Sukha Vedana, pleasant feeling. Dukkha Vedana, unpleasant feeling. Adukha Sukha Vedana, neither painful nor pleasant feeling. Let's take another example. Now we have Veena coming over to our house many times. Now, what happens with Veena? Whatever she has spoken to me is there in the mano. So when I see, that is chakuncha paticca rupe cha upajjati chakku vinyana. In the chakku vinyana appears Veena, this body called as Veena. Tinna sangati phasso. These three are assa. Phassa pachaya vedana. Now the feeling here is either I like Veena or I don't like Veena, or I am neutral to Veena, which is adukha asukha vedana. But there is still a feeling. So if somebody wants to cut the craving, they have to cut the feeling. If somebody has to cut the feeling, they have to cut the contact. Without cutting the contact, how can somebody say, I will cut down the feeling? It's not possible. If you do it, if somebody does it, that means he has become more than Samma Sambuddha because he is able to find another way in which the contact is independent and the feeling is completely independent, which breaks the Patisamutpada cycle. And hence, he is the winner. Why? Phassa is there, but there is no contact. Sorry, there is no feeling. There is contact, and he has cut off the feeling, which is Samma Sambuddha. That's exactly he did. So somebody is able to do it. Why not? Excellent. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. But it is far, far, far from truth. Without a feeling, there can't be any craving. Without a contact, there can't be any feeling. It's height of stupidity if somebody says that I can demonstrate something as sensation in the body without any contact, or rather heights of insanity. So even if you understand Goenka, he says, he talks about it, but many people don't understand that he's saying that there is contact. In fact, Ubakin says there are six senses, but over a period of time, people have understood like one sense, so, which is kaya. They then start to think all feelings appear in the body, which is untrue. That means you have proven Buddha Dhamma wrong, or that person who gets into this has proven Buddha Dhamma wrong, because Buddha says six senses and six consciousness, whereas our friend has found only one consciousness with one sense door. And if I read Ubakin's statement, he is very clear. He says there are six of them, but in our tradition, we take only kaya because that's easy to understand. It does not mean that there are no other sense doors through which you can get the same sensation. He has put very clearly in our tradition. Oh, fine, that's okay. Absolutely appreciate it. But if somebody says, I will prove that there's only one sense door and it is independent of the contact, then he has misunderstood the Dhamma itself, because he has forgotten Phassa happens due to Vijnana. It doesn't happen due to eye and sight coming together. If this was not there in the socket, what will this do? Nothing. This is the eye and this is the sight. What would it happen? Can it be on and off? Even if I pray to the Buddha, please make it on. You say, idiot, put it to the socket. And when I put it to the socket, here you go. Okay. So what we need to understand is the vijnana, awareness, consciousness, knowing, knower, whatever you can put it, is the one who will associate with the eyes, ear, the sight, there. And when there is a contact like this, then the feeling comes. Otherwise, there is no feeling. Now, the objective of the Dhamma is to cut the consciousness from the six senses and hence Nibbana. As long as the consciousness keeps on going around six senses, there is going to be a feeling and there is going to be a perception. The moment you cut the consciousness into the senses, then that's the end of it. Okay. So, ahara samudaya, rupa samudaya, ahara nirodho, rupa nirodho, phassa samudaya, vedana samudaya, phassa nirodho, vedana nirodho, phassa samudaya, sanya samudaya, phassa nirodho, sanya nirodho, phassa samudaya, sankhara samudaya, phassa nirodho, sankhara nirodho. Iti imasmim sati idam hoti. This being, this comes to be. If phassa is there, as long as there is contact going to be there, so long you will have feeling, perception, and preparation or volition. I want it this way. As soon as the contact is removed, feeling, perception, and choices or preparation or volitions cease to exist. Now, contact with what? With what? Eyes with the sight through the conscious experience. So, if I am not experiencing, at this moment, I am not experiencing Mrityunjay, Shenial, and others because they are not even speaking, they are not on video. So, there's no sight experience. I can only make out from the mind sense door. S means Shenial. But I have no idea how does he look now. Yeah, before our call he was there, but now he's not there. I don't know. He might have just kept his computer or mobile and he has been doing something. And listen, he doesn't have to seeing me all the time. So I don't know whether he's sitting there or not sitting there, he's gone or whatever. The same thing with Mrityunjay. Same thing can happen. He might be sitting somewhere and then sound is coming. So at that moment, the sounds is happening. So the connection is with the ear sense door, not with the eye sense door. So the phassa, as Vila speaking, is happening in that sense door. As far as Aryu and myself and Veena, and Veena is in meditation, so it's only with me and Aryu who are seeing each other. Right? So there is eye sense door of both and an experience of seeing Aryu and he seeing Vilas. As far as Shenial and Mrityunjay and all of them, they might be seeing, but this poor guy Vilas can't see. So he don't know. He doesn't know. So he can only bring it through his mind that they're sitting there. Any question on this phassa? Very important one. The entire Buddha Dhamma is on phassa. Entire. Not on Vedana. Yes, Shenial. Go ahead.
Thank you, Velasji. I had a question related to eighth jhana
Uh-huh.
and what is happening there. I guess phassa is being cut off in some way because consciousness of the senses is cut or diminished. So then feeling doesn't occur, and then as a result, perception is greatly reduced. Can you talk about that a
Oh,
little bit?
yes, good one. I had expected this question not today, but maybe in a day or two. It's nice that you brought it today. It's like this, Shaniel. The
Mhm.
six senses are there, right? And that's the reason it's called ayatana. Now, on the eighth jhana, there is passa. It remains. It is not cut off. But the perception, the percipient, the person who is experiencing is no longer there because he, as a person, is cut off in the seventh jhana when nothing as a self remains. It's just a pure conscious experience and hence has only a limited amount of perception. So to say, it's almost nil perception. So there is no feeling because with phassa being there, you have found out a way cutting out feeling and perception. And hence it is called neither perception nor non perception. That means you can't say, I'm conscious of hearing. At the same time, you can't say, I am not at all conscious of hearing. It's a very weird situation. So when you eat jhana, what really
Yes.
happens? Yes, sorry, Shinil, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. There's a bit of a delay. I was just saying, yes, it's a very strange experience.
Yes. So what really happened? Let me put it up in few steps, maybe 8 or 9 steps, basically, which I have experienced. So Shaniel, you can check out how you are experiencing it. First step, you should let go of the self. There is no self, which goes away in the seventh jhana, meaning only the subject remains. Objects are gone. There is no experiencer of an object. So there nothing belongs to a self at all. It's a strange, paradoxical feeling, as though you are cut off, you're dead. Okay? In that state of consciousness, you feel void. There's no existence. And hence, it's called a kincha ayatana. Kincha means little. There is no little thing in any of the ayatana, starting with Chakku, Sota, Ghana, Jiva, Kaya, Mano. Six ayatanas have nothing and hence called as Cheto Vimukti because the Chitta, the mind, has got rid of the six objects. Now, once you're stabilized on that, since there is no self, what should happen? The consciousness starts to withdraw because the self is the one which connects the dots. If there were to be no self, what would you do? Nothing is there to be done. So, what happens? The perception reduces so much that it is completely withdrawn. It is as good as dead, but you're alive. But however, you're dead, dead to the world, but alive inside. World of six senses have collapsed. So what would happen? Comes to the second level, that you know that it's just a conscious experience. The third one, you can't perceive anything. Fourth one, you start to see dissolution completely. Then the fifth one, as it get dissolved, it's just like somebody throwing you out somewhere. You don't know where you're landing because there's no perception. The sixth one, you can't exactly define where you are and what you are. Seventh one, you know that there is a perception. The little I remains, the very little one, tiny one, with a slight perception to come back to existence. And the last one, it waits for a proper time to get established. If by chance somebody has learned the art of switching it off, then Nirodha Samapatti happens. And that's the end of Shaniel or Vilas or anyone. That's completely rooted out of existence because there is no perception, little most perception and feeling. Why is it dangerous? Because you don't know how to come back now. You're like a mad guy. You're sitting in one place and somebody coming and talking to you. You have no perception of it, and hence you can't feel anything. My God, now what do we do? I don't know. Which doctor will cure it? No one. Is he in coma? No, absolutely not. He's fully active, but doesn't know where he is. Because let's say, even San Francisco airport is a perception. What if the perception goes away? Where is he? Passport is a perception. What happened to the passport? Is he going to walk? Is a perception. Oh my God. Is he going to sit? That's a perception. Now what do we do? How do we get him back? So I don't think so anybody will go to that level. But when you reach the seventh jhana, the nature provides you a mechanism to hold on to the perception so that you can symbolize it. Now, what happens? The ninth jhana, it comes back because consciousness knows how to come back. But till that time, consciousness was unmanifestative, unestablished. So if there are no establishment of the consciousness anywhere, there can't be any dukkha. If consciousness were to establish on name and form, then the life starts of the six senses. So the basic aim is to remove This is perception and feeling. Now it's connected to the power source. This switch off button here is what we are learning. This is Nirodha Samapatti. The power is there, it's working, but you have switched it off. Now it is up to you when you want to do this. And it comes back. Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? That's what it is.
Thank you for that explanation and the steps. I've just found in the last few days, I guess all of the jhanas that I experience are much deeper, but particularly the arupa jhanas. And in the eighth jhana, I'm really noticing how diminished perception is and getting to the point, where it's like I only have a very thin grasp on that sense of self. So yeah, it's just been interesting to see how much perception is reduced and minimized. So yeah, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. I really appreciate your achievement, and I really, truly, what I can say, feel so happy for you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Your guidance as well.
So these are the 9 steps what I had found while doing this. But the secret sauce is in the 7th jhana. When the self is removed, only the subject remains. Objects are gone. What does that mean? This cup is an object. The person who is seeing this cup is the subject. What happens when you start losing to see the cup? What happens? It's a relief on the chitta to recognize all the time and bring it back and recognize and bring it back. That's not required. So there is relief from suffering. And hence it is called a Cheto Vimukti, because there is Vimukti, liberation through the Chitta. Yeah, Shania, go ahead.
So just on that point you raised, I noticed in my daily life, yeah, a lot of the stuff that's around, I'm not cognizing. It's just there in awareness. It's only, certain things that I need to focus on that I bring into, attention, cognize, and really focus on. And it is there's a lot more ease in life when you're operating that way. So I'm not saying it's like super deep all of the time, but more and more, like most of the things are just there in awareness, not very, not really trying to cognize everything or pay attention to everything.
Yes, but still you're aware.
Yes.
So if somebody were to ask you, are you aware of the crow flying there? And you would say yes.
Mm-hmm.
But you are not keen. Meaning your observation is so keen that you're seeing everything, but there is no object for the sense dose. It's very paradoxical. I don't know how to explain this to you. It's really paradoxical.
Very
7, 8, and 9 are really paradoxical.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, Shaniel, it's like
Yep.
this. You're flying to Cupertino. You're meeting Ariu, or rather you're going to Mountain View and you're meeting Ariu and Chirag and having fun time with them. And next day, going to Cupertino, you're meeting and all that. And then you're winding up the day and everything is happening. But you are not there.
Yeah. Yeah. I had that experience on this flight because I flew this morning as well. And it's
Okay.
like, yeah, I flew there, but did I really fly? No, it didn't seem that way. So I understand what you've been saying, all along, more and more now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good. So now we really are head on now, Shaniel. I think by the time I come there, you might be an expert.
I still have plenty of room for improvement, Bilasji, but
Yes,
thank
okay.
you.
But still, I mean, my effort would be so less. It's that just like a feather. And so nice. I mean, I'm really so glad I found another guy who is picking up so quickly. It's nice. Okay, anyway, coming back to the seven jhana. If you fly from Fiji to San Francisco without landing in San Francisco at all, nor in Fiji, you have done the eight jhana. Okay. So how many hour that flight is? Just never left Fiji. In fact, you never left Brisbane, so to say. So you just neither here nor there nor in between. No, either that this. So Ubhayamantare, that is in between. Neither here nor there nor anywhere in between. That is the end of the dukkha. Because if you don't land in Cupertino or in San Francisco, that's it. You've done it. But yet you are in San Francisco, and yet you met Ariu, and yet you met Chirag, and yet you may meet Ariu's ex-wife, and office meetings, and Vision Pro, and this and that. Just like you dump in a garbage tin, dumped everything else all the time. So the mind is free without any kind of garbage. And yet, if somebody were to ask, did you not fly to Cupertino? Oh, sorry, to San Francisco? And I say, yes, I did. Were you aware of your flight from Fiji Island to San Francisco? And you would say, yes, every damn detail I know. Amazing. So, were you asleep? There is no. Were you unconscious? The answer is no. Were you fully conscious? The answer is yes. But did you enjoy the flight from Fiji Island to San Francisco? Answer is no. So did you suffer in the flight? And the answer is no. But okay, were you indifferent in the flight? The answer is no. Give me a sec. What are you trying to tell me? I asked you this question. Were you not happy from flying from Fiji to San Francisco? You said no. Were you happy to fly from Fiji to San Francisco? You said no. Were you indifferent? And you said no. Then how should I understand this statement? And if it was Buddha, he would have just given one nice slap to that person called Ananda, saying, Etan Santan, Etan Panitan, Yadidam Sappa Sankhara Samato, Sabbupadi Patinisaggo, Tanhakhayo, Virago, Nirodho, Nibbana. And Ananda would have left sadhu, 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 and had gone to Sariputta asking the same question what he asked the Buddha because he couldn't understand anything. Why? Because this is peaceful, this is proficient. What? You are alive and yet dead. That's beauty. You're completely alive, but yet dead. What do you mean? I mean, I'm able to see everything, hear everything, taste everything, touch everything, smell everything, But yet, I don't have experience of anything. Because yadidam sabba sankhara samatho, and all the sankharas are tranquil. Sabbupadi patinisaggo, the panchakhanda, upadana is gone. Tanhakhayo, craving ended. Virago, no raga. Nirodho, cessation. Nibbana, extinguished. What got extinguished? The vijnana, what else? So, Shaniel indeed flew from Fiji to San Francisco, but he never flew at all. By that token, when he arrives at Aryu's home, he never arrived at Aryu's home. And he never stayed with Aryu. He never met Chirag, nor he met anyone. And yet he met everyone. And that's Sanya Vedita Nirodha. One level below is this. Now, how do you get back Shaniel that he indeed met Chirag or Aryu or whatever? So he can't be in ninth jhana all the time because then there's no perception, there's no feeling. What he does, he has to come back to seventh and operate, not even eighth, to come down to seven, because then there is no self experience. So now he knows he's Aryu, but there is no self as meeting Aryu. Attenava, there is no atta, there's no self. It's a beautiful experience to have. And if he goes to Apple, there is no self as Shaniel meeting some people. You know what Shaniel is going to happen? You will see yourself in everyone there. That's a beautiful experience to have. So I still remember Aryu's friend's wife, who I met in, whom I took, we three went to Apple and then we sat there. So Aryu wanted to sleep in the car. And then for some reason, I and she, we went on top. And then I saw myself being Cindy. It was much easier for me to cure her depression. I just asked her, can you look into my eyes for 10 minutes without blinking? If you want to blink, you can. And tears started flowing her eyes. And then she forgot all about it. It was like me there. And then what did she get? She just got a message. It's okay. So what did I do? I replaced her thought into what I wanted her to experience. And she was happy. And Aryu took a photograph of before and after in Google how she was and in Cupertino how she was. So it was a strange look from her eyes. Beautiful experience. But anyway, so if you're in seven jhana, you can do it. And Shaniel, if you're in seven jhana, you can break the deal in Apple.
Yeah, okay, I'll work on that.
Yeah, because there is nothing to fear. You're talking to yourself.
Exactly.
So now, if you're wanting your Fruit Ninja or any other product to be part of Vision Pro, it becomes pretty easy. Just talk to yourself. Every colleague over there is just you. That's it. And Shaniel, just for that matter, I do the same thing in the office. If I meet any colleague of mine, it's me who is talking to me.
Yeah.
And hence, I'm not able to get out of the company. They've been keeping me for the last 7 years, and now I've quit anyway. So, because of coming to Australia, but then that's what it is. So,
Yeah.
so they are not able to get rid of me.
No. You're your own worst enemy.
Was that?
I said you are your own worst enemy there.
Yes,
You talk.
exactly. So now when I meet anyone, including my manager, that's what I see. It's me talking there. That's nothing. So I feel there's always a connection, a nice connection with whomever I meet, because either I'm the fifth or in the sixth or in seventh jhana. So going out of the form existence, Rupa, it's a wonderful experience to have. No $1 million of any kind, of any currency, can give you this experience. It's a beautiful experience. Even if somebody would give a yacht and then say, I'm giving you an island villas, then we be interested in this. And I would say, yeah, I can stay there, but it's not an issue because I can always go and get into the eighth and ninth jhanas, and then that's it. Anyway, so Shaniel, if you plan to give me an Fiji island, do let me know and we can have.
I will. You'll be the first to know. Don't worry.
Okay. So anyway, so this is the thing on Passa. So you require Passa till the last, till the eighth, and then switch off. Then what happens if you switch off? En route from Fiji Islands to San Francisco, you will be unresponsive in the seat because to get up, you require perception. So you can't get up from your seat. You're alive, you're fine, everything is good, but there's no reaction. Then what has happened? We don't know. So while you get into the eighth jhana, you shouldn't forget to make a sanya of how to return back. And then when they announce, welcome to San Francisco International Airport, or you can say when it is near the airport, and if the announcement is made that another half an hour we're landing in San Francisco, that sound brings back the perception. So the consciousness gets back like this. And now that entire journey from whatever time switched off like this to here, that time you are aware of everything without anything. So there is no tiredness because you never traveled. So when you get down in San Francisco, you're just like you never flew, never on the flight, and you're fresh, more fresh than a person staying in San Francisco. He's worried guy, but you're so fresh. You just come out and then you see Ariu, and then you just drive home to Mountain View. And Shaniel, maybe I'll ask you to do one last favor to me. I used to use a room of Ariu. Okay. So let's see
Yeah.
whether you can sit there and see whether you can see traces of me. As far as I'm concerned, I know it is not there. But since you're going there, let's see whether it works.
Okay.
If it
Yeah.
works, I suggest you energize that place and leave so that our friend Ariu can benefit.
I will. Hmm.
It's actually his room, so he's made it into a nice, meditation lounge come bedroom. So it'll be a nice experience for you, Shaniel. The only thing is that you're pretty tall, so it will be a slightly funny experience because I think it is 6'5" or something, that entire thing.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
you're I think you're 6'3" or somewhere.
Yeah, around 6'3", 6'2" now. Yeah.
Yeah. So it would
Mhm.
be an amazing experience for Harry that he's meeting somebody. Oh, okay. And in fact, he's actually taller than me. Harry is taller than me, so
Mm.
it's fine. But it will be interesting experience for Harry. Yes, yes, Harry, go ahead.
Very much looking forward to that. And I have a very basic question.
Yes, go
Not,
ahead.
not very basic. So there's some word used of sensation, Vedana, and some Vedana that you used, right? And I just want to understand from example what these mean. Say, I got an itchy sensation, let's say. But then someone say, oh, spider. So I start experiencing spider as the itchy, like not just itchy, now it's a spider now. So what is these two in terms of those three that you mentioned?
Let me tell you in a nice tone. I putting hand on your shoulder, right? And one hand on Cindy and another hand on you, and a photograph. Is that samvedana or vedana? You were to ask me. The feeling what we got, three of us, when I held is vedana, feeling. Cindy got a good feeling. So what did she say? A fatherly figure, right? She's felt like a fatherly figure. And for you, I'm always special. So I don't have to answer much of it. You would say I would got a pleasant feeling. But what did I get from both of you? Actually, no feeling. And hence you both got pleasant feeling. Okay. Now come to some Vedana. That Vedana, which is associated with either Raga, Dvesha, Moha, is some Vedana. Because there is born out of some experience already had. That means I had an experience of Ariu earlier. So then when I told you like this, it becomes some Vedana, the same Phassa, but turns itself into a samvedana, which is even more grosser than just the basic sukha, dukkha, dukkha, sukha. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, but in that case, when Cindy feels the fatherly feeling, that
That's
would be
samvedana. She can
Samvedana,
convert
right?
that into a samvedana,
Okay, but the warmth and all that is just Vedana,
just
which is
vedana,
from Vedana
which
as well.
might be irritating. Let us say I'm sweating a lot and then I touch you, might feel uncomfortable. So that's vedana. But even in that sweat, and then you feel a fatherly figure, that is samvedana.
And so I guess that means usually what we mean by feeling at home, feeling this is all Samvedana. Everything we usually say
Yes,
Samvedana.
that's samvedana. But the
But the Vedana
basic,
you're trying to make as a distinction is more basic,
more
more.
basic, yes. What Buddha says, not what we understand as sensation. There's no sensation, there's only feeling, just a basic feeling because of contact.
So we should cross the word sensation and always use Vedana in its place.
In its place, yes, not some Vedana. Yes, sir.
Sir, actually, when you are telling this samvedana, it is again after the feeling has come, it is mixed with either
Yes.
raga, dvesha, moha.
Yes.
My question is the other way. Instead of moha, wisdom, instead of raga, amoha, adosha, like that.
Yes, so you come back to Vedana.
So that means that time also it is called as samvedana.
No, Vedana, just a feeling.
Just oh. So that means if Vedana is experienced with wisdom, it is just a Vedana.
Yes. So now in that Vedana, you can feel the consciousness knows this is Sukha Vedana. This is
Oh,
Dukkha Vedana. This is Adukka Sukha Vedana.
per se, feelings per se.
That's it. Only feeling per se. It's not because of this I'm feeling.
Okay, right. Effect of Raga, Dvesha, and Moha is not there.
Not there. So
Okay.
if you cut off the feeling itself, then it's a Nibbana.
Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. Sir.
Harry, you're thinking so much catching to do.
Catching?
Are you thinking so much of catching to be done?
What do you mean? I don't understand.
I mean, you have to catch up so much, is what I.
Yeah. To Shinyo, yes.
Not Shaniel, I'm talking about whatever I'm saying, you're thinking. So I thought you're
Oh, okay.
looking at how so much of catching I need to do.
I was thinking this Vedana would be Upeka and what is that? And but, yeah.
Okay. You're gone into another dimension. Okay. Yeah, it will be a nice, interesting experience with all of this when you're there, when Shaniel is there, so you can use much of your time. Maybe you can take him to the Madras Cafe and to that other.
Yeah, I already informed him. I think.
Oh, you already done that. Okay, I know you would, but I just.
And I hope he can have a positive influence on my ex-wife because they both are tech and he's interested in Apple. Maybe his mentality will be more, my ex-wife would be less defensive against him than you.
Yes, because she was defensive with me because I'm not working. I'm on your shoulder. Whereas Shaniel is not on your shoulder. Shaniel is a CEO. So, and then he is giving his product to Apple. So maybe she would be a different individual, and she might say that, you know what, Ariu, I think you should stop dealing with Vilas and rather deal with Shaniel, and that's fine.
Yeah, probably.
Probably, yes. She would say, don't invest in Vilas, you invest in Shaniel.
Don't worry, Vilasji, I will set her straight in the right direction.
Anyway, so should we end for today and then meet tomorrow with the next, on top of that, what is there? Salaitana.
Yep.
Okay,
Thank you.
good day
Thank you,
and
Mark.
good
Thank you.
afternoon, good evening.
Mm.
Bye-bye.
Yep.